Ensign level here, and I got a recording here of a raid run that our clanmates were nice enough to bring me and a friend on to show us kind of how the Last Wish raid runs. Unfortunately, I did not collect the voice audio because I wasn't really set up to record. It was kind of a surprise that they were going to do this, so I managed to get the game video and audio, but I don't have any voice, which is unfortunate because all the instructions were explained by someone else. So I'm going to go through this and explain as much as I remember, so that hopefully other friends can see, I did a little cut there. Other friends can figure out how to do the raid with us the next time we get a group of 6 of us together. So there are these plates out on the corner, and you saw at the beginning I was facing the center of the room. Now these plates each have symbols above them, and one of the, I think is it 4 symbols? I think there's four total symbols that are unique. One of those is considered a bad symbol, and you don't want to go on that plate when it's time to kick it off. And the way that the plates work is you can see this kind of divided into 3 sections, like a left, a right, and a middle. 2 blight bombs will form on 2 out of the 3 sections. Those will be unsafe. You stand on the 3rd one to stay safe, and you'll fight here. Here you can see that around the center you can see pairs of the symbols highlighted in the white, kind of in the white circles. There's like an infinity sign, a snake sign, and an 8 sign. And on the 3 corners they're in pairs, and those 3 are the good symbols, if I'm remembering the explanation correctly. And the one that doesn't appear, or appears somewhere in the back or something, that's the bad one. So that's going to get called out by whoever's leading the raid. In the middle is the boss we're going to be fighting, and you can see where I'm pointing, there's 2 rows of chambers. Those are doors to chambers. And once the fight commences, at a certain point during the damage phase, those doors are going to open up. There's going to be 6 doors for the 6 guardians. And the way that they explained it to us is they're numbered 1 through 6, which makes sense. 1 is the topmost leftmost door, and 6 is the bottommost rightmost door. So everyone gets assigned a number, and based on that, you can decide on the fly when the doors open up which door to go in. Now, they could theoretically all be on the same row, but that's unlikely. So basically, if you're number 4, when the doors open up, you're going to find the bottommost right one and go over 2, and that's your door. And 1 and 6 are easy. Topmost leftmost for 1, bottommost rightmost for 6. And like I said, you could just figure out what door you're supposed to be in. I actually did make a mistake, I think, in the footage that you're going to see here. And what I've done is I've spliced together basically the victorious or the successful attempts. Here, there's a lot of explanation going on, so there's a bit of standing around. But that gives me a little time to kind of get going on the post-commentary here as well. I believe my loadout is a... Primary was a Dust Rock Blues shotgun. My I guess we can call it kinetic now. Kinetic was my Dust Rock Blues shotgun. My energy is my Trust hand cannon, and the heavy weapon for the time being is a slipper stimulant to try to deal as much damage as possible. So when they call go, what's going to happen is we're going to go back to our plates, and then we're going to start a kind of ad fighting phase. And then once that phase is complete, we're going to make our way back here to the center and start dealing damage to the boss. And I'm just trying to remember what else is useful. I believe I'm running a Warlock here. I think I might have it on one of the Arc subclasses, because we already had a Warlock with with the Well of Radiance tree. And actually right here it's going to tell me. Oh, I'm still running a Dawnblade. Okay. But I don't think I have the... I think I at some point switch off, because another Warlock runs the Well of Radiance along with the Lunification Boots that allows the Well of Radiance and Rifts to refill your magazine from your reserves as you fire, and that just allows us to deal a lot of damage. And that's pretty much it. I think shortly we will be beginning the raid essentially, and I'll just talk through what we're doing, what I remember about being told. There's some things they didn't completely explain to us because they had 4 experienced people, so they didn't necessarily give us everything. I'll fill in on as much as I asked about and can remember. And this was actually 2 weeks ago now. I've been meaning to record this audio, and there were a couple of problems getting it recorded, so this is not the first attempt to record it, but I believe everything's been ironed out, and should be able to get through it and get this posted, which, if you're listening to it, it has been. So here are the plates. I believe these 2 in front of me are safe, I think, possibly. The one I stand on is definitely safe because I don't get killed immediately. So, and I'm kind of itching to go here. We're close to starting, and I'm just gonna float. I'm kind of fluing around till we get the go signal, and there's the go signal. So what's going to happen here? You can see how there's a sheen or a shine on 2/3 of it. That's what the blight bombs form. Just stay off of those. As soon as they explode, look for the next 2 blight bombs that form, and again, stay away from those. You can see this one formed on top of me in the spooked wing, but now the center of the 2/3 is the safe one. And fight the ads. And what's going to happen is eventually a taken captain is going to spawn. Now that's the boss, that's not a captain, and what our leader here said, is take out your heavy weapon and pop him to scare him off, so that's what I did. So if that happens, pull out your heavy and shoot him away, and he'll just disappear. And in the meantime, just keep fighting this player, and when the captain spawns in, destroy him. I shouldn't say. There we go, captain's down. Once your captain is down, you may leave your plate and head towards the center. I think mine was the last captain to spawn in because everybody seems to be at the party already, mostly. Which isn't a big deal. So I reloaded my sleeper stim, which probably should have done while I was doing all that waiting. Unless I picked up ammo during the fighting. And this is the damage phase. But what's going to happen is the doors are going to open up that I told you about these chambers. And the reason that they open up is for us to get inside of that explained before the delivery system. And he will release a burst of energy that would wipe us if we're not in these protective containers. So there it is, and then the doors open. The funny thing is, you'd think that once they had us in there, they just keep the doors closed, and that's it, we're captives, we're done. Yeah, just let us back out again, and you can see me having a little bit of trouble. Now there's a crit. I got a crit there. With the sleeper stim, because it takes a second to charge up, and something that just happened there that happens quite a bit. I'm not used to having a shotgun in my kinetic slot, so I switched to my kinetic, which is the first one to switch to when you switch off your heavy, and wind up firing a bunch of times, even though I want to kind of be on my energy level. That's my game plan. Now at this point, back to doing no damage. You can see the enemy's health at the center bottom of the screen is already down to about a third of its maximum. So I would assume this is decent damage. And see there, I looked, and it looks like in this replay there was an open door, so I actually went in the wrong one. You can see my teammate going there and died because I think I went into the wrong door. And it was a door all the way on the left. I think that's what happened. I think that was mine. So I will revive that teammate. A little bit of ad cleanup, and I think the boss does not return, so we're going to go to another phase on the plates. Now we're doing this well after the Last Wish raid came out. The Last Wish raid was a 550 raid, 550 light raid, and by the time we're doing this, I think the max as we are doing this is 700. This is just before was it the June? Yeah, the June update, I think, where the max light came back up to 700. So, I mean, we've got plenty of power. So that's not going to be an issue. And this is just rinse and repeat. Stay on the plate, keep the ads off your face, and when the captain shows up, dispatch him. And he just survives with a sliver, and almost winds up getting me. And then I just take off and run, because I don't need to be there anymore, and we're going to go here to try to finish off our friend. Apparently my captain is not the last one to spawn this time. And you can see here, I believe I'm empty on heavy, which is why I'm not bothering to switch off my handicap. And I'm anticipating the doors opening. You can see we got him down to, what do we call that, 15% health?
Guardian down.
We fit 6 of those little health things across. Yeah, maybe about 15% of his health. Considering how much damage was done the first time around, the odds are we'll share. Probably win the play. I decided to go on ad duty because I felt I would be a little more effective on the bats. I mean, we're in the run of raids, it's actually going to be really hard for the ads to kill us, but I figured. Now I got bumped either by an enemy or an ally as I ran, and I actually ran towards the wrong door, and then I tried to straight to the right, and I got caught in the lip. So if you wind up doing that, you actually have to back up a step or two, and take a step to your right to catch the ball. And I came back and grabbed a bunch of. I grabbed a bunch of orbs, and you can see my super is back again. And that's it. The boss's health is drained, and we win the first fight. Nothing to it.
You have my thanks, Guardians, but my sister remains enthralled.
There's some talk going on here,
we cannot defeat Riven.
Once that finishes, we're going to make our way through the inevitable jumping puzzles, which they have to be, obviously, right? Destiny. Or Destiny 2 in this case. And
know this.
Now we'll take us to the next battle.
Will try to seduce you when she's
just follow this path. This is my first time through, so I don't know it, so I'm just trying to follow people. So I can just, just kind of watch. There's not much to say. You just, make your way through with whatever kind of jump you have, depending on your class. Class and subclass, I guess.
Guardian down.
Although the jumps between all the subclasses, they're all the same, right? Yeah. I mean, I think they are. No, then. Are they? No, because I think like one of the Void Walkers has blink, and the others don't. Yeah, that's true. So, that'd be a little difference. Or is that Destiny 1? I'm really thinking back to Destiny 1. Here, something weird happens. I start to follow my buddy up the thing, and all of a sudden I'm kicked to the right for no apparent reason. I don't know. Maybe I just was on the edge and slid off. I don't know. That was kind of annoying. This takes me a couple of tries, and they do tell me to, once I get to the other end of this section, they tell me to go to the right, but I'm not paying attention at first, so I went going left. But then I do see even though I fall off here, where I'm supposed to go. Because I fall off there, right? And then you see right there, that's the portal that we gotta take. But next to it, there's a platform with a tree growing out of the mountain. The tops of the tree branches are about even with the platform. That's what we're going to be aiming for. I'm actually going to go left again, go the wrong way, except I'm actually going to go for it, the platform this time. And I'm going to not quite make it. If I had Icarus Dash, I might have been able to save this, but I didn't. So I didn't have that, or I didn't realize it. I don't know. I think at this point, I used a Nova Bomb at the end of the last fight, so I'm no longer a Dawnblade, so I do not have access to Icarus Dash. And here's where they kind of show me which way to go. And it's not that complicated. So you can see the branches there and the ledge next to it. So right along the tops of the tree branches where that ledge is, and I managed to go in here. And this chest, I'm not 100% sure if it can obtain an exotic randomly. It's possible. Wouldn't surprise me. But I got there, got some loot, and then we are through to the portal. That's the next step. And that kicks us over to, I guess, the other. This must be the other side of the same bridge. And then we just continue along the bridge till we get to land. And you can see up ahead where the one of the guys who is familiar with the raid is up ahead, just kind of chilling out by the door. So we're gonna make our way over there. And that's pretty much it for this jumping puzzle. Me and my buddy here are just making sure we know where to land. Because again, first time through. That's the whole point of the raid. They're nice enough to show us through. And it's pretty simple. Just hit the ledge and carry on through. Nice jump, and just keep going. And here I kind of overshot, and then I'm trying to catch the legs and correct myself before I fall, and somehow managed to make it. And the rest is pretty straightforward to the next door. And at this point during the raid, somebody I think had to do something, so we kind of chilled here for a bit. And I think I kept some of that, and then cut to the run of the next section, because you know you're having a little bit of fun. So I figured I kept it in the video. It'll be obvious what we were doing, but I'll explain it anyway. And there's the door. There's my teammates, and we're ready to move on to the next part of the raid. Here's a cut where we cut in. Oh, okay. I guess the part that I was talking about. All right, we can rally to the flag to refill our super and ammo. And yeah, that fun stuff is at the next stop. Okay, so this next section, the way it was explained to us is it's timed. You basically have to go straight through. There's going to be all these ads we got to kill, so we got to go through as quickly as we can, killing ads. And then there'll be these gazebos where the boss spawns. We're going to spawn every single one, but once the boss spawns and you kill all the ads, 3 crystals will appear. And what it looks like to me they're doing, because if this was explained, obviously I don't have the audio anymore, is once 3 people grab a crystals, they're going to jump up on pedestals that the crystals are on, and then they're going to take aim and shoot the person with the crystal on their right. This will create a triangle, there you go, that breaks his shield, and then I'm here with my Dust Rock Blues in a well of radiance, just unloading them. This was actually really effective in dealing a lot of damage. Now the trick is here, we are on a timer, so we got to keep moving. And after doing this 2 or 3 times per floor, it's going to be a puzzle room. And what we're going to do is, in there, they had the experienced people doing that, so they didn't take the time to really explain it to us. I did ask what they were doing, so what's happening in the puzzle room, and after this is a repeat, this is going to be a repeat what we just did in the other 2 things. It's going to be the same thing. Kill the ads, we have the crystals, and shoot the boss. When we get there, there's going to be 3 walls, left, center, and right. And starting with the wall on the left, which I think is going first, from there you should be able to tell which of the... There are going to be 9 floating pedestals in the room. Somehow you can gauge from that which of the 9 to step on. And once all 4 of you step on it, I think the insignia on the wall will flash, and then the next one will glow. And then you got to use that one to step on all 4 again. Now the trick is you cannot step on the same panel twice. So you got to factor that in. So if everybody knows how to do it, it helps. You can switch people in and out. If you do even accidentally touch or step on it, you can't step on it. So that kind of ruins you for that particular puzzle. But you see him standing on it. And you see how that glowed, and then they got off of it. So I'm guessing the insignias painted on these things somehow meant... It was unclear to me when he said that, because they didn't really take the time for this particular puzzle to explain how it is. But you have to do it 3 times for each wall. And there's 2 rooms like this, you have to do it 6 times total. But once that's cleared, we will be able to leave this room by way of some pedestals that suddenly appear. And they're a little unstable. We were told you can't stand in the center, you have to stand on the edge. If you stand in the center, they will flip, which kind of is counterintuitive. You would think if you stand on the edges, they'd flip. But apparently if you stand on the center, they flip. Now I don't know where each one is, so I'm looking. I actually should have made it on my very first attempt here, But yeah, my guy didn't clamber. I was counting on him to clamber onto the thing, but maybe because that's not fixed. Now, see, he clambered there. Yeah, I don't know why, but then I have a lot of trouble. This one, unfortunately, starts to turn while I'm in the air, and I can't stay up long enough, and he won't clamber on that either. Then I have a whole bunch of failures, but I do make it. Also, this is our first attempt, and it's the one I left in because it's the one we did best on, believe it or not. The second one was also pretty good, and then it just got worse, and we kept failing. And what happened was the raid leader, and I was able to clamber there. The raid leader had a character that was just beyond this point in the next save, so we went on to that. So we don't actually complete this, but you've seen everything there is to see except for killing this boss. His health, you can see, is now down by 1/3, so he's got 66% left. And this is the same as before. And then what happens is this continues on to the next room, like the one we were just in with the puzzles. And I actually think they get 2 out of the 3 walls done. So if they got 1 more wall, we could have continued. But they get bumped off, and then they can't reset. So it was explained that this is the most annoying part of the raid because you basically have to go straight through and be perfect, and it's a long sequence. So this is going to be the tricky part. Although once we start doing this, I think it's going to take us a bit to learn everything. So hopefully we can figure out the system much for us. And if everybody in our raid party knows how to do that, we're going to do this tutorial. Okay, see again, symbols on the 3 walls. And again, I would have to look at these. You see this, the array, I think it's an array of 9. Yeah, it looks like an array of 9. See how they're standing on certain ones? I think they're matching the symbols. I think the symbols keep changing, and they're matching the symbols. And it looks like they did it a second time. So basically, if they were able to do it one more time, we would continue. But they get knocked off, and you can see spawning in front of me. There is one of those Centurion things with the shield. They will push them off of the platforms, and they can't use that particular platform again. And that's what winds up finishing us. I think me and my partner wind up targeting the same one at some time. Yeah, we ran out of time there. On one of the attempts, we wound up targeting the same one. The one we didn't target pushed off one of the guys and ruined it. And so that's it. Now you can see how much you can see the damage that the Dust Rock Blues there on the 4th one down was doing. It was pretty decent damage. So if you're not on the pedestal, I would recommend a shotgun in the face with a Well of Radiance, and that'll get some decent damage done. And I wasn't even hitting as many crits as I would have liked. So I believe if we had completed that second room, assuming we weren't out of time. See, I don't know if when you complete something you get a new infusion of time. I don't exactly know how the time works, but I think we definitely have the damage output to kill the boss if we had the time. That was the only restriction. There we go. And just cruising. Again, jumping section. I don't think the puzzle is it's not really a puzzle so much. It's not that complicated. And I believe we're here in front of the tower of whatever that said. I didn't catch it. Opened eyes or something. And here we're chilling again because again someone needs to take a break for something in real life, I presume. So we're just hanging out. And I left this in there for a little bit because me and my buddy have a little bit of fun. And then we move on to the next phase of the dungeon battles, or the raid battles, really. So we're just kind of hanging out, looking around. And at some point we meet up and we both decide to have a little bit of fun. So I start to draw. I start to do an emote, but then I realize he wants a high five, so we high five, and then I decide I'm going to do an emote. And without my knowledge, he actually has the exact same emote equipped. So what we do is now, so we both ready up. We are not talking, and we just draw at virtually the same time without talking, which was really cool. So, and I think this is gonna, yeah. Then I'm cutting here to the beginning of the next section. Now, what you see in front of me is the boss area. I think he's inside that little glowing force field, or whatever. And you can see that pillar of light. Well, that's called a taken strength. Now, I'm going to kick this off. We got a flag to rally to. So I'm going to kick this off. And what's going to happen is I'm going to grab that taken strength, and that starts it. And then those strengths are where the fight adds, and those strengths are going to start to pop up. And what we do is they start collecting the strengths on each side. Where I go to the left side with 2 people, and 3 people go to the right side. We get to start to collect those strengths up until everyone except me has 2. When everyone but me has 2 of them, I go collect the last one. It's going to spawn in the exact same spot where I picked up that one. And then when I do that, I say, I call that we're ready to fight the boss, or the fight song, or whatever this happens to be. The enemies also appear to drop something, and I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. Hopefully that again, there are holes in the instruction because I don't have the audio and I don't quite remember. I just remember my part. So you can see I have it looks like a debuff, but I have the taken strength. Let's call it a debuff, even though it sounds like it should be a buff. But anyway. And once I pick up the second one, I'll have it ×2. Right now, my friends are going to be collecting their taken strengths. See, there's one there, and he just collected it, so he's got at least ×1. And then they'll keep showing up until everybody has ×2, except me, and then the one in the center that I picked up in the beginning will respawn. I'll pick that up, and I'll have ×2, and I'll go after the boss. I don't recall what that is right there. That does not appear to be a taken strength, but it does seem to be something we can pick up. I don't know why it's there, and I don't remember that part of what we have to do. So that might be something we need to figure out and read ourselves. Trial and error. The fight is pretty straightforward, I think. No one seems to be picking that up. There's another one there. So I'm, again, not 100% sure what those things do there. I don't really see them taking strengths because they're not from the quarter light. So I'm leveling up, apparently. I remember I had a grenade there. Well, I think I had... Is that an Axion bolt? That's probably... Oh no, that's Vortex. If it was an Axion, it wasn't the best choice. I think a Vortex was the best choice. Alright, so now everyone's got taken strength +2, including me now. And now we're going to fight the boss. We go behind him and hit his weak point from behind in a Well of Radiance. Now I'm waiting to see where the Well of Radiance drops because I'm waiting for it. Now let's see what happens. I hit the wrong spot. The glowy sack on the back there, that's his weak. And you can see his health bar draining. Maybe a Chaos Reach, which is the center tree on the pod subclass for the Warlock. Decent hit. I get killed here, but I'm on the edge of the just. And that's it. His health gets drained to 0, and we win the fight. Nothing to it.
You don't hesitate to reach into the deep.
And then, moving on.
Your kind is so brave. Those with conviction pair best.
I don't know if there's
with
that far to go here before we get to the next section. I don't remember. Just let the
Shall we be friends?
let the video roll and see where we wind up. I guess there's a little bit of running to do. Hall of Two Souls. So we run through to here, and then I decide to wait for my teammates, even though I do have somebody leading me, so I shouldn't get lost. But if there's a way, I'll figure it out. I think also in the gazebo area earlier, might have been a good time to change to a Thunderlord. The Sleeper Stimulant wasn't going to do much for us in there. I think I might be equipped with the Thunderlord now, but the other weapons are the same. And if I'm not, I probably should be equipped with Thunderlord at this point. I'm hearing some stuff in the background. I don't know if that's being picked up on the mic. If not, we're good. If so, it's not a big deal. Just some of the neighbors or something. All right. So we're just being explained. It's being explained to us here that this is the final. This is where the raid's going to end. And I think he was just showing us the well, which, if we follow him here, the well is the well behind us, which I think he was showing us earlier. That's where we're going to dump the heart once we get it. That'll make more sense once we have it. But yeah, so this well here, that's where it's going to go. He's just telling us this now, because we're going to have to make our way back here. We go up the pillar of light.
You're so close, friend. Find me. Kill me.
Alright.
My heart is yours.
Alright, I just stopped at the top of the steps. And what's being explained now is the area. So that area that I just passed had a big rock in it. That's called the rock area. This has a tree on top of a rock, so that's called the tree area. And I don't know if there's a name for this starting spot where we kind of come in. I don't know. But all right, another flag to rally to, so we can restock our ammo and get our supers topped off. I really like that addition because it's easier than the old ammo synths. You used to have to, just D1, you have to use the special and heavy ammo synths, and even primary ammo synths. These got really bad. Now I'm supposed to stay at the top of the stairs, but I chose this set of stairs. It's actually supposed to be the top of the stairs, then off the bottom of here, to my right, or behind me now, to my right again. Yeah, and see this, I get trapped on this side. Now what's going to happen is, this is one of those areas where I was kind of given a task and I did it as best I could. I know that some enemies are going to drop some sort of orb or something you can pick up. And one of my teammates appears to grab one and go do something with it. I don't know if they deposit it in a well, or more likely they take it out to the other side of this wall, the long way, and like put it in what looks like a torch or something. Take in torch or some sort of fire. But also, eventually they will spawn a large elite enemy with a sword. And what's going to happen is he's going to start moving towards this wall. And he can walk through the wall, but we can't. So if he walks through that wall and plants his sword in sort of a little notch in the floor, I think we get wiped. So it's very important to kill that enemy whenever he spawns. So, and you will see him. Eventually, this wall will go away, and I'll be able to get back to the top of the steps. And you can see there is a timer on the left with some sort of debuff. Not 100%. Again, I didn't get the whole. I don't remember the whole explanation. I'm not 100% sure how that relates to us and what fills the timer up and what gives us more time. Not sure how that works. But here we're just fighting, and I am now at the top of the second set of steps where she's supposed to be. And we can see taken spawning in, and now my partner, I'm pretty sure, is going to out there to kill something. See the drop? Now it gets taken, and you'll see him run off to my right, I believe. Alright, he's already gone, so... I did not... Okay, so this is the guy. I get surprised, and again, I get screwed up by the fact that my shotgun is in my kinetic. Unfortunately, I think... See that flame right there? Watch what happens. Ally comes and does something, most likely what they picked up, and that extinguished the flame. I think if the Taken puts his sword either in that flame or someplace else on the floor, it'll cause a pulse that, of energy that will wipe us. So that's why it's important to kill that guy. And I did kill him, even though it cost me my move on. I got screwed up. I switched off my shotgun because, again, I was trying to switch to it and I expected it to be the energy weapon slot instead of the kinetic slot. I'm just not used to it. But yeah, it's the same thing, and you can see the kind of the fire next to me, where my teammate appeared to deposit whatever it was he was carrying to put that flame out. And now here at control. My weapon topped off. I see guys running around.
Guardian down.
Probably to get a revive. And now I'm just waiting for my friend to spawn again. And that's him. So here he comes. He's rushing. Just gotta wait. Just gotta wait. And then, and you can see, I think I may have been getting some help, but that seemed to be mostly me. And then, unfortunately, I took enough damage that these little ads could mop me up, but I did my job. So the first death was because of confusion combined with having to use a Nova Bomb at close range with low health, and that one was I didn't get confused, but then I didn't get away either. Probably could put down a rift. I think at some point I realized that I had a rift on, and I actually use it to help myself. Mainly focused on shooting. Now there's going to be another drop of one of those orbs, or whatever they are. I don't exactly know what kind of taken effect they are. And we'll see if we see my teammate pick it up again to see if we figure out where he runs off to. See, he's going out there. I think he's going out there to get the drop. He just pops through a little bit. There's the drop. He grabs it, and he runs off to the right. And you can see again. Alright, see now I'm on the wrong side of the wall, and I'm trying to hold this guy. I'm calling out that I'm on the wrong side of the fight. He teleports past me. And I run out of ammo, and I deal a lot of damage. Unfortunately, someone is there to mop up and kill. And you can see the teammate there, putting out the fire or whatever. And again, I don't see it. No, I just see it. I don't exactly. Oh, actually, did we just get hit with a debuff right there? You see that red flash that reset it? So I guess for each round we have that. What was it? 3 minutes maybe. We have that 3 minutes to, I guess, put out those flames, which is, I guess, what the guy was doing. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm trying to piece it together. Without getting wiped, and each time we do that, it probably clears this debuff. That's the countdown. And I guess once we do that 2 or 3 times, a certain number of times, we basically clear that. Because there doesn't seem to be any. Pardon. There doesn't seem to be any final boss or anything. Yeah. See, I remember I have a rift there. So I think it's just getting hit with this debuff. Surviving, clearing the debuff, and moving on to the next wave until we've exhausted all waves. See if the guy picks up something here. Alright, so he's kind of going out there. I probably would be just as well with a scout rifle here. I've always been a fan of hand cannons, but just for the range. Scout rifle. Alright, so he pops his golden. And alright, so he's gonna collect that, and he's gonna somehow bring it back around. He moves off to the right. So he somehow comes around the wall and makes his way all the way over here. And then you can see our debuff is down to just over a minute. And now I got this. I'm worried because I got this guy coming at me, and you can see that he's shielded. Not to mention that I'm taking a lot of damage. And so once he crosses, fortunately the shield comes down, and I actually get some help too. So we take him down. Now let's see if the debuff clears soon. Because presumably they're putting up the flames very short. I'm just gonna keep an eye on that debuff and lower the tank. We got another one coming. So again, same thing. And I get some help. I clearly get help there. It's fine. Debuff is still active.
Guardian down.
Flame doesn't. Alright, and there it goes. I think the last flame was probably just put out. Because our flame appeared to have already been put out. And that's it. And that's the end of the encounter. So there we are. Encounter ends, we get our drops, and we move on. We're just waiting for everybody, a little bit of talking, and we are going to be on our way. So, what he's explaining here is that there's some paths that head towards the well from here. See how this kind of does a little hook down to the floor. I think this goes to the floor below. And you come around here, and he's explaining, because we're going to have to run this path. And then this goes, this appears to be a downward gradient as well. And you see here, we are back in the center room here. And then from there, I think you got to go down to the well. But that's going to apply to the next section. And you will see, and here on the other, this is, he did, I think, the tree room before, and this is the rock room. It's the same thing. It's just like almost like a mirror, and it goes to the same place, just on the other side. Again, like a mirror. So now we're going to proceed to the next section. And what's going to happen is, I will try to explain it as it's being done. I believe we started off by all standing on some plates. But I don't want to get ahead of myself because I'm doing this from memory. Just as well to wait a few moments until we get there. To the Queen's Walk. And you can see here, as I said, I should have probably switched to the Thunderlord long ago, but I didn't. I still have the Sleeper Stimulant. And now I think I switch? Oh, no, what happens here, I actually switch for the, boss fight here. Because they suggest grenade launchers, so I wind up going to my collections and just crafting a Prospector. And that's all. You can see right there, I put on Outrageous Fortune, but in the successful attempt that you're going to see, I'm using a Prospector. So, and I'll explain that as we go. I'm just checking my setup. Now, they asked me to put Chaos Reach on, but I didn't connect that it was an Arc subclass tree. So I'm looking for Chaos Reach, and I'm like, Chaos Accelerant. So I wind up not doing this. I eventually screw up and use a Nova Bomb where I'm not supposed to, and they say, could you please put on Chaos Reach? And I'm like, I wasn't finding the tree, and then they explain it's an Arc. It didn't even occur to me that it was the Arc subclass, even though I have it. I don't use it very often. All right, so here we are, getting ready for the next run at the next boss. And just like before, I'm going to cut in, obviously, whenever we start the successful run, and I'll explain as we go along what's going on. We're most of the way through the raid. I'm not used to talking for this long, or for recording my voice for this long. So we rally to the flag, and we will again rally to the flag. Like I said, I cut in. You can see I'm equipped with the prospector right now. So we'll rally to the flag, and what happens is we all go to our own plates, like I think I mentioned on the way over here. Once we're on the plates, we're going to turn towards where we entered. You'll see me turn to, I think, my right, and we'll face the area that we entered, and then we're going to run towards there once, yeah, see the plates put like that? Oh, I'm sorry. We are going to turn towards the place that we entered, and then as we fall, we're going to head towards these steps. Now, I was right near them, so it was easy for me to find, but if you're farther away, you just turn towards the way we entered the room, and then as you fall, you make your way towards the steps. And you stay to the left of this rock, I think I wait here to let someone go ahead of me. And for some reason, you stay to the left, you go between these two pillars, and then you hug the wall. Everybody hugs the wall. I don't know why this works, or what's happening, but I think as soon as someone touches the wall, it gets us to the next area. So that's what we did. And as we get teleported here, they're standing here waiting to hear which direction the boss is, and we're going to go in the other direction. So they heard him to the left, we run to the right. I didn't have my headphones on, so I was having trouble hearing which direction. And I've got an extension cable for my console setup, but I cannot find it at the moment. It's a nice long cable that should be right next to my sound system, which is where I was keeping it, and I can't find it. So gotta do a little bit of cleaning and find that. And then what you do is you follow the path we're taking, and then you turn around and you face the doorway there. On the second one, the first one I don't think you have to, but on the second one you turn around and face it so you can see the doorway and you know when to break, basically. Here we're going to do a little bit of ad clearing, and the boss is going to show up in the center. And the warlock with the Dawn Blade and More Radiance is going to pop the well. And what we do is, when you have grenade launchers, you aim for what's in its mouth. Black thing in its mouth. You do not want to hit its eyes, because if you do, it'll generate a pulse of energy and wipe us. You can see its health going down very fast. And I accidentally, on one of the attempts, used Swift Bomb there and hit their eyes, obviously, and messed it up. So I used the Chaos Reach, and you can see that thing went away when it got to that amount of health. Now, there's a jumping puzzle here in enemies, and we're on a time. You can see the debuff to the left. We've got to get through here within a certain amount of time, and I screw up the jump. I go with the jump too flatly, so I can't make it. I have to jump up in the air and then over, and I just jump over, and it's going to be on this next jump. As you see, up. See, I need to go up a little bit and then over, and I just go straight and I hit it flat, and I couldn't clamber, and I careened off the side. It happened twice. So next time I do that, I should be able to remember to jump up and then over. So if you're a warlock, give yourself some vertical momentum and then go with the horizontal momentum. So they're trying to get through. You can see that taking strength, they got to grab that taking strength. And as you can see, I guess only one of us technically has to get here. You see they get teleported here, and then all of the ones who have died are revived, and then we got to go over and fight the boss again. Remember that little sliver I pointed out? The boss still had remaining. Well, now's the time to break it down and the boss is dead. Now the next thing is we're going to crawl inside of this beast and basically grab its heart, I guess, is the shtick here. Go to the belly of the beast. Get hit with some kind of debuff by this thing. Destroy the heart sack. Before that debuff presumably kills us. And there you go. And there's the heart that we're going to pick up. The next section is tricky. So what's going to happen is someone is going to become Fate's Chosen, and they're going to pick up
Fetch the heart. Hurry.
this heart thing. That's going to allow them to pick it up. No one else can pick it up except Fate's Chosen. And there's going to be a timer, and they're going to start counting down that timer. And I think when the timer gets down to 0, obviously, what's going to happen is that person and anyone near it is going to be pulled into a different room, a different dimension or a different room. So when he gets down to, like, say 5 seconds, everyone else needs to give him some space. Now, while he's carrying that, he's actually projecting a shield that will protect us from taking damage on the way as we run through. Because we got to run this thing back to the well that was pointed out earlier in the run, to that room that I told you the way to enter. So right now he's extending a shield around us, and as long as we're inside the shield, we're being protected from taking damage. But once it gets down to 5 seconds, we've got to give him space. And see here how he teleports. Then Fate's Chosen grabs it, and then takes it, and then continues with it. And we got to kill ads. Now what's happening is Fate's Chosen is continuing to count down. Now what happens is when it gets down to, I can't remember the number exactly, 5 seconds, the person who is on the other side, who is in charge, is going to grab and take its strength. And you see he just did it, and that extends it. And you can only extend it once per person after the first person has gone in. And now what's going to happen is when this goes down to 0, this person is going to be pulled into that room, which you can't see until I get pulled in there. And it's going to immediately grab a taken blight. Now Fate's Chosen, anyone grabs this. So the person who just got sucked into the other room is now grabbing a taken strength. I said blight, but I meant strength. Immediately, while the person who was first in there, who was in charge, is leaving a taken blight. Until this guy, who is counting down as he runs, and this is the path we got to take. He's counting down as he runs. When he gets to 5, yep, the person in charge grabs a taken strength and extends it again. There we go. And now this time he's continuing to count down, and he's going to have to. He can't be extended, so we give him a little bit of space. I actually was lagging behind, but now I need to give him space so we can pull out. Now Fate's Chosen will grab it. I'm in really bad shape here. I need to get close to this guy, otherwise I'm going to die. So you can see him just trying to get close for his protection. He's counting down. He'll be extended when he gets down to 5 seconds. So he got extended again. He actually went the wrong way, which is fine. So you can make a mistake and still make this work. And the last 2 people are who wind up carrying this are the newest people. So again, he should be extended unless he already was. If he's not, I'm going to pick it up here. Yeah, I become Fate's Chosen. Now, I know vaguely where I'm supposed to go, but I don't know the exact path. But I do progress. You can see here, I'm counting down. You can see the timer on Fate's Chosen, and I'm counting down. And what they're going to do is when I get down, you're going to see it refresh. At a point, I don't know where to go. Here, I make a mistake. So I go back the other way, and I find the correct way. I got to keep going down. And it looks like I got extended, so I cannot get extended again. When it gets to 0, I'm going to be pulled out of here. Watch this. Yeah, I got pulled in here. First thing I do is I look for a blight, and there, I grab it. Or I grab it. And this guy, the guy who's dead there, is actually asking not to be revived. So if you wonder why I didn't revive, he said no. So there's probably a good reason for that. So there's another blight, and what's happening is the last guy running just barely made it to the well in time, and threw the heart in there. And that's it. Once the heart gets thrown in there, I believe the raid is complete. And you can see us getting pulled in there, and it was just in the nick of time. I think I could probably get the video of that last run, but it's just, I think I was already on the right track. It was just a matter of continuing all the way to the well. And also, before the raid started, our raid leader somehow got us all a bunch of ether keys. So we had one at the beginning of the raid, and then after winning the raid, you get another ether key, and those keys allow you to open the chest. In this room, you can see all these chests, and you can open any one if you want, as long as you have an ether key. So I picked 2, and I got the drops there. I think I actually got an exotic on one of them. I wasn't paying attention on this replay, but yeah, and that's it, and that's the raid. So hopefully that'll be helpful when we run it ourselves. So I'm gonna just sign off. Bye.